Hey guys, welcome to episode 18 of the weekly. And we are here with Mr. Warren Bowman. How's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going?
All
Thumbs
right.
up. Let's do this as soon as I can get my audio to come up a little bit higher.
Yeah, I can tune that over here. And Sam should be joining us at some point. And I think Mr. Juan Bagnell is not here this week, had to do some traveling. So let's kick things off. Before that, just some show notes and news topics. And no, not the news topics, announcements. I was going to say announcements, but news topics. Anyway, podcasts will be updated today. I promise. I've been saying that forever, right? And I haven't actually done it.
They don't believe you. You
I
need
know,
more
right?
people.
I know. The sad part
When's the last time it's been updated?
oh, like week 5 or 6 or something like that. We're week 18.
Jesus, it's like 30 weeks into the new year.
18 weeks of the show. Okay, come on. Calm down. But also, check out the podcast from TechBeard. It's actually supposed to be listed on the description. It's not. Check it out. It's twice a month. Pretty cool stuff. Very laid back. But I promise I will start putting them up today. Not all of them. You probably get week 6 and 7, 8, 9. I will try and put them up, and then I will also try and start putting them up on iTunes. So let's get things started off this week. We don't have a uselessness of the week, or is there anything that we can point out? Or if you guys have anything, please leave that in the live chat so we can actually jump on that. But do you have any, Warren?
No, nothing in particular.
Okay. All right. So let us. Yeah,
We'll
me
find
too.
something
I'm sure something will come up. Let's kick it off with some news this week. Apple had its WWDC, which was a lot of software, but also quite a bit of hardware, to be precise. Normally they would do iPad refreshes and they'll spend a lot of time on iOS itself. This year, I don't think they spent that much time on iOS. I mean, granted, their press conference is rather long, and I tend to skip through it. But iOS 11 was announced. You could see a lot of Android-esque features more coming in there. But you know what? If you're an iOS user, the better they improve it, the better your life will be. That's how I look at that kind of stuff. But I want to spend some time on some of the. What?
Blue Rod says the refs in the finals are useless. No, I can't do that. I can't. That game 4. Let me go back to this game 4 that everyone's complaining about. Sure, there's been some bad calls, but that does not discount the fact. And I'm not like neither one of these teams are my team, but that doesn't discount the fact that the Warriors did not play very well, and that's probably the worst defensive they played in a while. And honestly, the Cavs play their best ball that they've ever played.
I'll put it this
way. If Golden State had cut that lead in half by that third quarter, they probably would have won the game.
Oh yeah,
but they couldn't pull that close enough together. It's gonna be funny come Monday when this is probably all gonna split back to the other way. 15 games. If they're on a 15-game winning streak, do you know how hard it is to do that in the regular season? Let alone do that in the playoffs. They were due for a loss within the next 5 games, and it finally just happened. They didn't play well.
I'll put it this way, right? This is just quickly. The Cavs went Super Saiyan yesterday. That's just all that happened. They literally, especially Kyrie, played his life out, and the fact that they broke the 3-point record for the final, right?
Yeah.
Look, to me, the Cavs played the best game that they could play possible, and still
very heavy on offense and still shitty on defense.
Defense, exactly. So for the Cavs to win a second game, not the second game, they have to play the same game with almost the same type level of defense. They gotta play a way better defense than that. Yeah, I'm saying
they scored 86 points in that half, but I mean, the Warriors still called 68.
I said the same level of defense as I was about to say as the offense. In terms of the same intensity you put in the offense, you got to put that on defense for them to win a second game. Then we'll see how it is. But anyway, let's move away from basketball. Let's talk about Apple's hardware announcements. They announced some hardware. Some were tantalizing, some were interesting. We definitely got iPad refreshes and
I missed all of it.
iMac refreshes. But I want to talk about the 2 things that caught a lot of people's attention. First is the Apple HomePod. Yes, Apple announced the HomePod, which is their own version of a Siri-connected speaker. We'll try and get an image for you here, guys. But just to give you a quick rundown of it, it is more powerful in terms of audio output than any other speaker from Google or Amazon, or even what Microsoft is doing with Cortana and Harman Kardon. It's got 7 tweeters, all that stuff. It's powered by Siri, but it also costs $350. So, and it looks like it's just going to be tied to iOS for now. But they said it works with iTunes, so we'll see. Maybe that will be opened up to, since iTunes is on Android now, I believe. So, we'll see.
I don't think that ever actually happened.
No, iTunes, sorry. Apple Music is on Android, so I don't think it will actually work there. Who knows? But I want to get your thoughts, and you guys can chime in. What do you think about the HomePod itself? Do you think, it's heavily tailored to Apple users, but do you think this would do anything more than make itself more segmented and give Amazon more leeway? Because the Echo is $49. The Echo can connect to your own speakers that are 100 times better.
This is just a response to Apple customers. They made this for their users, so they know their users will spend $349 on a premium Bluetooth speaker that happens to do a couple of commands here and there. That's what they want. Will this all of a sudden get other people? No. It's really just to answer to their own ecosystem, and it's a test until they see if they can go outside of that. But then Apple's not known to share and play favorites. I mean, what's the only thing? There's only 2 things they really share within an ecosystem, and that's iTunes, because that happens to be able to be installed in the Windows, and Apple Music, which happens to be on Android. Other than that, they're a closed-off ecosystem. So they're just adding something for their user base within their ecosystem to see if those diehard users that want to use Apple-based products can use these things. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what it's for. That's all it's gonna be for. Do I see that they're not gonna try and take on Amazon? I think it's been the consensus. I think has been out there that it's this sort of AI speaker game right now is Amazon's. They own it, and they're gonna run away with it, with only probably Google coming in at a very distant second behind them in this space. Microsoft doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just trying to add software, blah blah blah. Cortana, nobody cares. Truthfully, nobody really cares because they don't have any hardware to put up to back up any of their claims. So they're gonna be probably not in this game as well either. So this whole thing is to at least let's have something in our ecosystem. If they choose to use something else, to use something else. This is something to add into the HomeKit, something to add into their automation. So if you want to go all Apple, you can do that and have the ability to have that synergy. If you're one of those people that don't care, it's not going to matter. You'll still look at an Amazon product or a Google product to use as well too.
All right. Yeah, very, very true to that point. And Sam, thanks for joining us late.
What are you talking about? Late? I'm on time.
You're late.
I am perfectly on time.
You know what? Just forget that. Just forget that rubbish.
Useless.
So CJ Spiker says they're competing with Sonos. That is what they want to try and play this as. No. It really is. No.
No. Dude, you can't make that argument.
No. I'm not making you. Okay, how about both of you shut up and let me tell you what they're trying to do and what is actually happening.
Okay, Apple fanboy, tell us what Apple's trying to do.
No, that's what Apple wants to do. Apple wants to place this in that Sonos range. That is their mindset as a Play One.
Okay, so what Sonos product are they going up against?
The Play One, the Play One and the Play 3.
The Play 1 and the Play 3 doesn't do Siri functions. Sonos isn't going for that.
No, Sonos does do Google Play functions and Amazon when you plug in.
You can plug in those devices to use with the speaker, but their speaker.
It's not the functions; it's the fact that you don't have to buy a Sonos. It's the same thing as Apple releasing a battery pack. No, I'm telling you.
If you told me I could buy 5 or 6 of these and daisy chain them, then I'll say they're going against Sonos. But since I can't do that, they're not even anywhere close to Sonos.
Oh, I'm not saying they are. See, you missed my point. I'm not saying they are close to Sonos, but that's the mindset they will push to Apple. No, you're not an Apple customer.
It's a very, very flawed mindset. Yeah, because Sonos. You see, the reason I'm going against it is because Sonos got big, right? Not because of Android fans, but just audio fans to begin with.
Oh yeah,
it got
of course.
Big because of Apple fans. Apple fans were really into Sonos because Sonos was really big with them before it became big with everyone else. Yeah. Now, if you're pushing something like this, saying, "Oh, it's going to be kind of like Sonos," No, it's not in any way, shape, or form like Sonos. Yeah, maybe you can plug it into your Sonos, and that would help give you better sound.
You can't plug it into your Sonos. The idea is that it works with AirPlay. You have Siri connected. It's got 7 tweeters.
No. What I'm saying,
sound,
it works with AirPlay. It works with AirPlay, and basically your music that you can use, what's it called, iTunes with your server music. It probably would do that. You could probably link it in some way, or Sonos would figure out a way to link it to Sonos. But this is not a Sonos competitor. It just can't. There's no. I'm not saying you're saying it. You're bringing up someone else's comments. But I'm saying at the end of the day, this is in no way, shape, or form anything close to what a Sonos
but here's the thing, right? The reason why I say it's a Sonos competitor, and I will tell you this from what I know, Sonos is afraid. I'll just put it out there. I won't tell you exactly where I got it from. I just know Sonos is worried about this because this is what Apple does. You keep forgetting that Apple likes to screw its own.
Someone at Sonos isn't doing their job.
No, because Apple likes to. Look, it's the same way Apple quietly released a battery pack and killed. And literally, look at how Mophie was the battery king for Apple. Let's just correct that. What is Mophie doing now? There's a battery pack for the Pixel. There's a battery pack for the HTC. HTC.
I'll put it this way.
I'm just saying that's what they do.
I'll put it this way. If Sonos can get...
Yeah, but I haven't seen that many people with a battery from Apple.
And home.
Oh, no, I have.
It's not going to be an issue.
It's a lot. No, I think
not as much as a power pack on the side.
I think what it is the mind of Sonos is that this is the first entry into getting rid of them. Not that this product will, but that means for them, they need to either expand and solidify with all those different partners, right? Like how Sonos and Spotify work so seamlessly together, right? Where you can control your Spotify through Sonos. So in their mindset, I think Sonos is going, we need to start increasing those partnerships across the board so that somebody, whether it's an Apple user or Android, whatever, doesn't matter.
What music service does Sonos not work with?
No, seamlessly work with. Spotify is the only one where you can control your Sonos through your Spotify app.
Well, I can basically do it with my music. I can actually integrate my Amazon Music account with my Sonos. So this is wait. Sonos is working. I'm not
saying integration. I'm saying you can control all your Sonos features through your Spotify app. Everything. Not just playlist, not just playing music. I'm talking pairing.
That's well and good. But the fact still is Sonos is trying to do that integration already. So when you say if Sonos is worried about this, I would say there's a fundamental issue there because it's either they don't have a clear business plan in order to get to a point where Sonos truly is integrated with either Amazon Alexa or Google Home, and they're now worried that this HomePod is going to come into that business.
Amazon, it's about who your partners are dealing with. Amazon only just released kits to allow other people actually integrate hardware with. Google hasn't even done that yet. I'm just saying that it's the way. No, but it's the way some of these companies run. I agree with you that they should do a better job. But when Amazon is just stating that, now you can use Amazon Kit to do this, and I'm going, really, all this time? One of the first few products to do it was Ecobee that just released 3 weeks ago that has Ecobee integrated into your thermostat with Alexa. Those are the things that it's not as simple as it is. Same thing with Microsoft, for instance. Let's take it with Xbox, right? We know how hard it is to make all the headset manufacturers that make gaming headsets. We keep telling them, why don't you just make one headset that works with Xbox and PS4, and I don't have to buy 2 separate versions. They look at us and go, tell that to Microsoft. Just that. Guys who are partnered with them for years, tell that to Microsoft. I'm just saying that it's not as easy as we all try to make it sometimes because there's certain things certain companies do. Microsoft has a proprietary bandwidth for Xbox audio. Same thing, but PlayStation, you can connect via Bluetooth. Done.
Yeah, but this only will affect Sonos in a world where Sonos isn't already working with the Alexas and the Google Homes of the world to try to do that integration already. This only affects Sonos in a world where you can't use most of your other audio services or your other music services on Sonos. This only affects Sonos in a world where it is totally shackled off only to Apple customers, because we know this device is going to be shackled into the Apple ecosystem.
Oh yeah, but
this only affects Sonos in that way. But Sonos is much more than just the Apple ecosystem.
Yeah, but true. But let's be honest. Sonos started from Apple, which means most Sonos users are still Apple users. Again, you got to look at it that way, right? So at the very least, at the very least, you have to be concerned about losing some of that customer base and solidifying as much as possible. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying you got to treat it as a concern because it's Apple. This is not Google. This is not. Let's look
at it from the other side, right? Name me one product in the last 5 years that Apple has released, apart from the phone and tablet and laptops and computers. Right? Name me one product from Apple in this new device, automation device ecosystem, or tablet/PC device ecosystem that Apple has actually released that's not at the top of anyone's list.
Well,
the Pro, not at the top of anyone's list.
No,
no, it's not. You look at any other product, the Apple Watch, not at the top of anyone's list.
No, it's the best-selling smartwatch, though. But
it's still not. But
it's number one on that list. You're saying it's still number one on all smartwatches.
People who use Apple, because there are a lot of people who use Apple devices. End of story, right?
Exactly.
So it's going to dominate simply in one space.
But that's
the Apple ecosystem.
But that's my point.
Sonos is much more than the Apple ecosystem. That's my point.
We don't know the numbers of sales of Sonos, but we do know Sonos basically evolved out of the Apple ecosystem. So we can deduce very well that most Sonos users are Apple users. So from that simple deduction, you have to business-wise think.
Thank you, Kyle. It's best-selling doesn't make it the best.
I didn't say it was the best. Come on.
I'm kidding.
I'm just saying that. Look, if you have 50 or more % of your user base in Apple consumers, you just have to make sure that user base doesn't fall for this trick. That's all it is. I'm not saying that it's.
And that's why I think if Sonos is worried, then it is an issue with Sonos. Not an issue, not the threat of this device, but rather an issue with Sonos.
No, I disagree, because Apple and Apple users are, I'm sorry to say, they are gradually, I mean, the masses are asses. I won't call them dumb, but it's just what it is. That's what Apple users do a lot. On an Android space, we fight. We fight why we say LG is better or Samsung is better or this feature. Apple users will go, wow. Mind you, here's the thing with the HomePod, right? Apple did not tell us anything new they've done to improve Siri.
No,
nothing.
They haven't. Yeah,
nothing. And we know Siri is at the bottom of the poll.
And this HomePod is, if you look at the advertising for HomePod, it looks more like they advertise, let's say, 3 out of 4 of the features they're basically advertising are related to music, and then one is home automation.
That's exactly.
So this is done now.
But that's why I said. That's why I said it's the trick. It's the trick of Apple. It's not what you. That's why I say this is what they do well. They do well at advertising to say this is great. An Apple user with airport that is terrible Wi-Fi, by the way. Let's just call it what it is. And using this will go, wow, this is great. I have an Apple ecosystem with terrible Siri that I think is great because I have no connection to Google Home or Alexa or even Cortana, which is better than that by miles on end. It's just that's why I say that. It's because they know the customer base is Apple fickle and not progressive in terms of choice of saying, oh, what can I add? Most Apple consumers don't understand that you can use other products with your Apple products. They believe they need to be in an ecosystem, right? There's a reason why Apple users will still like, oh, I want to buy new, what's the Mac TV stuff, Apple TV, sorry. I need to buy, Mac TV. I need to buy an Apple TV to watch movies. You're like, no, you don't need that. You got better choices out there, you know? But that's just the way it is. That's why I said it's something that they go, we need to make sure because this is not a user base that is well educated. You're not dealing with Android user base or Windows user base or the general market that will go, what's the best option there? And Warren, want to add anything before we leave this?
I'm not going to say more word. I'll let you.
Warren was like looking at his phone. He's like, whenever these guys are done, they can just let me know. Warren, anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right. Quickly before we finish from Apple's announcements, the iMac Pro was announced. It starts at 5,000. In terms of specs, it's spec'd very well. It beats out the Surface Studio, which is of course what this came to compete against. Doesn't have a touchscreen, but it comes with a maximum 18-core Xenon processor. Starts off with an 8-core Xenon processor in terms of pricing. You can get up to 4 terabytes of PCIe SSD storage. It also comes with a new AMD Vega card, 16 gigabytes of HMB2 RAM, which is fantastic. All that good stuff, 128 ECE RAM. But what do you guys think of this? Do you think this is overkill, especially from its starting price point? Or do you think this is built specifically for the guys who do the special effects for Transformers and all the movies that we watch? Because this is all this machine would like to make. Thoughts, anyone?
It wasn't in the show notes.
It's right there, iMac Pro. What the hell's wrong with you?
I'm kidding. Realistically, I don't even know. Like when it comes to built PCs, I'm not really even big on any of these things anymore. I'm more of a build it yourself for what you need it for. But yes, you are right. This sounds more like something the graphics designer would want to use rather than.
This is them just not making a damn desktop.
Yeah, simple.
So it's just like it looks. I have the same feelings towards the Surface Studio thing as well too. Tune out, make a desktop, then talk to me. I'm not going to overpay for that. I'm just not going to overpay for that, and I can't recommend anyone else to overpay for that. Overpaid hotel kiosks. That's what the hell they look like.
Actually, hotels are not using this.
Find me the graphic designer is leaning on the screen. Find me that person that's doing that. I've yet to see that person exist outside of a promo for anyone. Outside of a promo for Microsoft.
Any graphic?
Yeah, we don't work in that world.
Studios. I'm just saying.
I have actually.
You can find this on YouTube. I'm pretty sure if somebody was doing it, it'd be on YouTube at this point.
No. I'm sure someone has a video on YouTube doing this, but the truth of the matter simply still is, like, even the people I see doing, graphic design, because there's an architecture firm not too far from me. They have the windows open and you can see inside or whatever, and maybe one or two PCs there, or one or two computers there are iMacs. Right?
And that's usually
everything
else.
Guys
that are very good and don't do much.
Everything else is probably maybe it's a Mac Pro or something, but it's really either Samsung screens. I've seen. This is when I realized that what's it called? What's the name of that? LG was doing good, because I actually saw an LG screen that wasn't being used for gaming, but actually for graphics design. I'm like, wow, LG has done it.
The color spectrum, color correction is actually the point.
Yeah.
Well, you see in a lot of these, because I used to support some architecture firms, and a lot of these graphic design firms, they need power, and it's more than just. You understand? They use more than just Photoshop. It's very assumed that all there is within the Adobe ecosystem. There's a lot of other very extremely powerful applications that they use as well too. A lot of these companies use AutoCAD, and just to name one of them, there's a lot of other builder-based programs. These are typically need to be ran on a desktop machine running some Xeon process. This is why this iMac Xeon exists, is to try and answer to that. But this is pretty much, you need power behind those things, and and they don't just want a 27-inch display. They want 30, they want 35, they want 40, they want something massive. You're not finding iMacs with those massive type displays. They want something big, huge. They can be able to maneuver around, and there's very similar profiles with two different types of professions. Somebody that is a trader that works in a hedge fund, and somebody that works within the graphic design field. They literally have the same type of computer needs. Literally the same type of computer needs.
Oh, but yeah, I'll give you part of that. But at the end of the day, this to me just says basically, you have this, what they call that, the touchpad thing again? Is that a magic pad, or what they call that thing?
Whatever.
I'm not in that Apple ecosystem, but you have solutions from the PC side that's easily swappable, right? You can swap out your graphics card if you're working with a PC. There's so many things that a PC gives you that an iMac really wouldn't give you right off the bat, right? So for companies, especially from a company point of view, like I said, it's probably more for people like who just want a enclosed solution that they're going to put home. Maybe someone who is not quite a pro at doing this. Maybe someone who's a semi-pro or a prosumer. But for the professionals, people who run companies, I'm thinking they probably want a solution where they can swap out parts to continually upgrade rather than just get an all-in-one solution that's just going to stay there.
I don't know. I mean, spec-wise, this is something that they use to render special effects for Transformers. I'm serious. If you spec it out to the max, this is the kind of machines you use. Now, I have no idea if they actually use these now or not. Yes, you can build PCs, but I also know that in the film industry, where they do a lot of that kind of editing, they also like to use Macs too. So that's the kind of market that this will go in, at least in my mindset, I know. But you know what? At least Apple is offering something.
I think iMovie is still one of the biggest or one of the most used video editing apps out there still, right?
I mean, it's second to Premiere, so yeah. But it's still up there. It's still high up there. But the fact that they're putting something out and it's not piecemeal, it is respectable minus the price, which is just disgusting.
It does have an 18-core Xenon.
No, that's for the $10,000 version, man. Not the $5,000 version is 8-core, man. Come on. That's not even trying to dream.
No, I'm saying they have to justify. An 18-core Xenon is probably like half the price of the whole freaking device anyway. I'm just kidding. It's not $5,000.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's it. That's our thoughts. Now, if you're a Mac user or an Apple fan, you're probably going, these guys are just bastards. Spend time, arguing about the HomePod. I'm happy Apple is bringing out products. The one thing I would say for me personally is that there wasn't anything truly innovative from WWDC 2017. I don't know if there's anything you guys saw or heard that was innovative for you, but that's just my thoughts. Quickly, anything, or can we move on?
We can move on.
Okay. All right. So moving on, HTC U11 officially dropped yesterday. We have units, I believe. Warren, have you got yours yet? Okay, so I guess I will be the one talking about it. So I finally got my hands on the U11, and my very quick impressions on this device is simply this. Number one, Squeezy is a gimmick, a full-fledged gimmick that works. I'll give them that. Boy. I'll give them that. It does work. And it can work.
Do not encourage bad behavior, my friend.
I'm just you got to be honest and correct what it is. It's still a gimmick. I wish the phone had thinner bezels. The camera takes some very good steals. Video, my quick video samples, not totally impressed. It's okay, it's passable, but in terms of photos, they've done a good job there. At least so far that I've seen. Audio is good, but man, taking away the 3.5mm jack, man, it really pisses me off because I'm carrying two phones, and then I have to carry a dongle because I want to switch from my S8 to my HTC U, or even from my HTC U to a laptop or something. So that drives me nuts, and it just doesn't make sense. But HTC has a nice phone that people just won't get the squeezy. I think that's just what is going to happen. Pretty much.
It is a gimmick. And even when I tried using it, I think it was yours or Jason's.
It was Jason's, yeah.
And because I was trying to squeeze it, my finger was touching the screen and it wasn't actually activating what I wanted to do. It wasn't doing what I wanted to do. So it's to me, it doesn't work. It's a gimmick, and to me, it doesn't even work.
No, it works because remember, here's the thing is that Jason set it to his squeeze preference.
No, I mean the way I was squeezing, my finger was just touching.
Yeah, but because you didn't.
So I don't know. Is there a preference that says while finger touches screen activate squeeze? I don't know.
You're just squeezing like a barbarian, man. Come on.
Oh yes, it's my problem. Yeah,
yes, you're doing it wrong.
I'm holding it wrong. I'm holding it wrong. That's why the antenna is not.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So I just think it's not a at this point, right? What HTC should be doing is paring down into just pure usability, removing gimmicks, and just going with what makes HTC work. And the audio has always been something that HTC has excelled at. And even though they've taken out the 3.5 millimeter jack, I've still heard good things about the overall audio from this device. So if a HTC had removed the squeezy, focused more on audio, and focused more on the camera, which is something that they've always also been good at, they could have done better. This device could have been and actually not have the candy-colored, bright-ass, glossy finishes on these things. This would have been an amazing device. I don't see any reason why this shouldn't have been, at least if not the killer device from HTC. It should have been a good, memorable device for HTC.
iTech You Out guy says Moto Z no jack, iPhone 7 Plus no jack, and they all have terrible audio. Boom. I said it right there. They're not that great. They're
I thought even the HTC audio.
No. He's talking about, I said Moto Z, iPhone 7 Plus. HTC has always put a proper amp and DAC, even with USB-C. I'm just saying that the annoyance of it is, it's just going to get there. That's where my problem is that we're in a world where you don't need to remove it. I get it, but why are you doing it in the first place? Is it? Or any thoughts you want to add?
I don't know. I haven't held the damn phone, so I can't tell you if it's squeezed properly, if it's too shiny, or whatever the heck it may be.
Whereas, I don't know what you're talking about. There ain't no squeeze in my life.
Whereas, HTC, send me a device. Okay, if you want me to talk about it, send me a device.
I was about to say,
send me a device. Damn it.
So I take you out, guy. We're going wireless. I agree, we're going wireless. But for someone like me, as you see back here, it's not good enough yet.
He's a snob.
Bluetooth 5.0 is getting there, but even that too, we don't have many headphones to support it. We have one device that supports Bluetooth 5.0, but no headphones that support Bluetooth 5.0, which will give you better audio. And of course, more companies will get aptX HD and Sony's codec that's going to be embedded with Android O. So till we get there, don't leave me hanging. And plus, you know the problem with Bluetooth? When your battery dies, unless you're running a Plantronics headset, when your battery dies.
Oh, no. I mean, almost everybody's now pretty damn good with battery life.
I know,
especially if it's 4.2 or above.
I'm just saying that when your battery, because it is though. Look,
even Bluetooth 5 didn't really add anything other than Plantronics features. Now the phone can actually do two different devices instead of the headset.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying the thing is that most people don't charge their headsets as much as you think, And Plantronics is the one where you turn it off. It's standby.
Well, that's an L for them.
Oh, that standby mode is fantastic. That thing will last you months. So if you want to buy a Bluetooth headset, this is not I'm not paid for this.
Yeah, he is.
Bitch. Get out of here.
Yeah.
You want a Bluetooth headset with long battery life? Plantronics, yeah. Go ahead. Do you believe rumors that the new OnePlus phone will cost $649? No. OnePlus would dare not go there.
They're probably less than that.
It will probably go up from
$599. $599.
It's $50 less.
$50 less. I will see. Anyway, moving on to other rumors.
I've been good at guessing prices lately, so.
It looks like Samsung Galaxy Note 8 will miss the under-glass fingerprint sensor because right now production has probably started for the Note 8. And with those mock-ups that we also saw of the iPhone moving its fingerprint sensors to the back, even though people say it's false, I think that tech from Synaptics is still not ready yet for the fingerprint sensor underneath the screen. To me, using the S8, I miss it because there are certain times where the sun is shining so bright on the screen, the fingerprint sensor just misses, and I have to type in my code. It happens sometimes, but most of the time the iris scanner is fine. But I do miss that fingerprint sensor right there, and it would be great to have it. But if it misses this and Apple gets it, that is a huge loss for Samsung. So I hope it's something that everyone misses it for Samsung's sake. Everyone misses it for the year, and then next year comes with it. But any thoughts on the fingerprint scanner?
Well, the Note has always been that device where you throw everything that you would like to have on your flagship in there, right? For Samsung. And if you don't have a fingerprint scanner on there, I think the issue is not that Samsung doesn't want to have it on there, or there's something wrong with the technology. This technology might be good, but it might not be consistent enough. That I think is what the issue might be. Remember when Samsung had a fingerprint scanner that on your device, but the Apple device basically scanned fingerprints just like that?
Oh yeah, that was the S4, right?
Yes, I think it was the S4, the Note 4, or something like that.
Oh, the Note 2. Yeah. I can't remember.
So it was one of those things where, yes, Samsung showed that they're willing to put a fingerprint scanner on their device. It doesn't have to be perfect, but at least it worked most of the time, right? Or it worked almost all the time. But to me, I think this is probably an issue with the frequency, or or probably the, what's the word I'm looking for here? The consistency of this fingerprint scanner. And if that's the case, I don't think Apple's going to have it either.
Warren?
Well, I'd say if it's not going to be right, don't put it out unless it's going to be right.
Don't put it out.
But we'll see if Apple beats them to the punch first. It'll be interesting for them to get that going. But I have a feeling if Samsung isn't doing it first, and they're the ones kind of making the panels for all these OLED displays and AMOLED displays that go on phones, I can't see that Apple's all of a sudden going to have the ability to come with it before them. So I have a feeling if they're not going to do it, I don't think we see this until 2018.
Mm-hmm. You might be right. Definitely. Another Galaxy Note news, it looks like the Note 8 will be running 836. Now, we do know Qualcomm's next big chipset is the 845, but that might be coming either at the very end of the year or next year, similar to how we had 820, 821 last year. Any thoughts on this, or you just think that that's just standard? It's going to happen. Thoughts, focus, guys, anything?
Sam
went silent, so you have to continue now.
Oh, crap, I wasn't paying attention.
836 processor on the Note 8 instead of the 845, which most likely is coming at the very end of the year.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. There's not a lot for me to say to it. It's just like 82020. It's like just like a revision.
Yeah, that's what I said when you weren't paying attention.
Well, it was Sam's turn to go first, and he went all blank.
Oh, sorry. I was actually working on my audio.
Yeah, there was a lot of frizzy noise in the background there going on.
It went out. Yeah, sorry. So basically, it's going to use 835 rather than
836.
Oh, 836.
Even though we know the next big chipset for Qualcomm is 845, but word that might be coming out at the very end of the year or beginning of next year.
Which will be on devices at the start of next year. So Q1 of next year. So it makes sense. I'm actually curious. The 836. What's the main feature of the 836 over the 835?
Revision.
Yeah, no, it's a revision, but a revision for what? So just allow me to go on a tangent, or to go on exploratory thought process. Right?
I mean, you got the floor, man.
They're basically, I would say, from all the announcements we've seen this year, from Samsung with DeX. We've seen Computech with Microsoft saying you can now run Windows 10 on an ARM device. Basically, we've seen prototypes of the 835 running Windows 10, full Windows 10, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking the 836 is probably going to be a more refined version that can run Windows and do the emulation even better than it does in the 835 right now. I think it's going to be very specific for desktops, and that's going to play really well into the hands of Samsung with its Note 8 line, because with its Note line, because that's the phone that you're going to be able to take and really use with DeX, or use on its own, plug to a screen and a Bluetooth keyboard or whatever, to basically get that functionality out of it. So that's probably why I don't think it's a big deal that they're not going to the 840. What are they going to call it? 845. Yeah, that they're not going to the 845. I think the 836 should be good enough.
Okay. Speaking of people who won't have certain things that Qualcomm has, word from GSM Arena, new reports are stating that Apple may not have gigabit LTE this year because of their lawsuits with Qualcomm. Because Qualcomm already has gigabit LTE on the 835. And Apple uses Qualcomm chipsets and also Intel. Now, Intel has been flaunting for a while that they've done great strides on their chipsets. on this arena, which is false because they have no LTE chipsets, gigabit LTE chipsets at this point. And the reports are saying Apple doesn't want to depend on just one supplier for push hardware components, especially not Qualcomm, with which it is embroiled in the lawsuit, where it alleges that the chip manufacturer has a monopolistic practice. Apple's solution for this entire conundrum is to do what they did last year and throttle Qualcomm's high-performance modems to the same level as Intel's parts, so that you basically have your iPhone throttled down. So I guess that's what happened last year with iPhone chipsets.
But we've seen multiple times where these companies are suing each other, and they still have they still produce phones, like new phones with hardware in there.
No, but what the article is saying, that I guess I didn't know that last year in terms of the LTE capacity, since Apple uses Intel and Qualcomm, Apple basically throttled down the Qualcomm chipset to match Intel's, so that they have a uniform experience across the board of being crappy LTE.
that is just a sad fact. If that's true, that is really sad. Why would you throttle down your hardware just because you want a consistent performance? That's a software thing, right? If one is faster than the other, hey, that sucks for whoever has a
no. It's a hardware. It's a hardware issue, pure hardware. Because remember, the Qualcomm chipset is the X16 chipset that gives you gigabit LTE.
Yeah, but no one was using gigabit. No. ISP has gigabit LTE right now.
No, I'm just saying in general. I guess that's what it is. They're saying because Telstra in Australia has started rolling theirs out, or they will roll theirs out. So
they already started.
Yeah, so basically in certain markets, right? If you're in Australia and you want to get gigabit LTE, it looks like Apple might be like, and you don't know which phone you're buying with which chipset anyway. Right?
That is just weird. You would think, okay, if I was Apple, I would think, okay, put the best in there, right? If you have an Intel phone, well, you don't get it. If you don't have an Intel device, if you have a one with Intel chip on there, sad for you. If you have one,
it makes no sense though, because if say both of us lived in Australia, I bought an iPhone, you bought an iPhone, and I'm like, whoa, look at my download speeds, and then you're like, wait, I can't download that fast. I'm like. We're on the same
that is why there's this thing called basically what's the whole process again? There is a flow. They have the whole merchandise flow. I've forgotten the correct term for this, but they can decide which one of these SKUs go to whatever country.
What if I went to Hong Kong and I bought my phone, and then I came over to Australia and I went?
What if I went to Mars and then I bought my phone to Mars back in 2066 and then came to the past to use it right now?
All I'm saying is that, look, I get why Apple is doing that, but also if I'm Apple, I would just rather have the best chipset on my phone and be done with, or I'll just use Intel thoroughly instead of doing this whole throttle down and all that kind of stuff.
It's a weird thing. I didn't know that, and that's very sad if you're doing that. If I'm an Apple customer, this will concern me.
Warren, any thoughts?
Not right now. Chipset, gigabit LTE, and that's nice. Gigabit LTE anytime soon.
Oh,
don't know that yet. So
don't matter.
Ronald Collins says Sprint has to with 64R, 64T equipment, as in gigabit LTE. I'm not exactly sure.
I don't think
all I know is that
LTE is rolling out in the US until 2020. Or maybe that's 5G. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe I'm talking 5G. But gigabit LTE is really not slated for US release.
I guess he's talking about the iPhone. So he's saying that Qualcomm has chips in Sprint and Verizon iPhones, Intel chips in GSM-only phones. Intel does not have license for Qualcomm CDMA. Licensing fees, baby. Licensing fees.
About that money.
Okay, band 41 LTE. Got it. Okay, makes sense now.
Who's buying Intel-based chip smartphones? Who? Where?
What are those? See, but that's a funny thing, though, and it goes back to almost some of that 5G discussion we had. Intel's made a big brouhaha about 5G with nothing to show for it. Let's just be frank. They've shown nothing at all in terms of just
shown nothing.
No, they've not even shown anything in gigabit LTE, which is the first step. Forget 5G proper, which is a whole conundrum on its own. But Intel has
a lot of Intel.
Yeah, so Intel is running some nice name recognition and making money, but hey, we'll see. Moving on to other news, Alphabet is selling Boston Dynamics, which is the robot company that makes all those crazy Terminator-style robots, to SoftBank.
What's the name of the company again?
Boston Dynamic.
Selling who?
No, Alphabet.
Alphabet selling Dynamics to
SoftBank, which I find interesting.
So what are you gonna get? Are you sure it's not just like a trade? They're trying to trade Sprint for that. We'll trade you Sprint for Boston Dynamics and a tech company, a startup to be bought later.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I thought, well, Boston Dynamics really isn't doing anything that we've seen Alphabet release lately.
No. Boston Dynamics. See, people forget Boston Dynamics has contracts with not any of these people.
Yeah.
It's all military.
Yeah, but I'm saying there hasn't been anything really
consumer facing.
Yeah. So
I saw one of the ugliest offices Belfast buildings possible.
So I don't know. Maybe this is all part of this whole Alphabet plan, right? Because when Alphabet started, it was a way of basically sectioning off each of these different products or data products into different companies, right? So maybe this is part of the plan. Like, okay, they looked at it, they evaluated it. Boston Dynamics purchase really wasn't the big thing for them, so they can sell that off without impacting the overall Alphabet business. They weren't doing much with it, man.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I just look at it as like, look, it's either, to me, I don't think it's that. I think it's more or less that there is a vision in Alphabet that they don't want to have government contracts. Literally, because government money.
That would be really, really.
I know. I'm just saying.
Government money is just out there, man.
Government money is like, it just makes it rain, man. I mean, look, Tony Stark, man.
You get that contract, man. That contract.
I mean, look, I'm just saying. So to me, I'm not sure exactly why they got rid of this, because this is a company that makes some seriously advanced robotics. And if I am Alphabet down the line, I know that's going to be the future of manufacturing. We're going to have, things like that everywhere. And that also is also the future of AI, right? Because they are running their own AI to have those machines that they show autonomous to some degree, right? How does that help Google's own AI learning and things like that? So me personally, I would keep it, but maybe they just see it as short term. It's just not doing anything in the next couple of years for them. So they're like, I might as well drop it. But for SoftBank, I don't understand why they're buying it. I guess, maybe they want to make Gundams.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking, man. I knew it. I knew Gundams exist. Sorry, I'm not going to get my conspiracy theory hat out here. Let's move to the next topic. Quietly. No comments. Cool. All right. Walmart has Walmart Pay, and they're trying to use.
And we're done.
They're trying to seduce customers to use it with a credit line. That is smart, because they do have their own financial institution. And
no, they're actually backed by Synchrony. How I know this?
Okay.
I literally just got this in the mail yesterday with Walmart Pay.
Can you show us again? Let's see. Okay, all right.
I ain't talking about Walmart Pay right there in the back.
So are you gonna try it out? Let's see how it is. Come on.
Well, there's no Walmarts in New England like that. Like this isn't like the rest of the world, rest of the country.
Do it for science. This Walmart in Framingham.
Who from Boston likes to drive to Framingham for anything?
No, but Quincy, you can drive to Quincy.
Quincy.
Who likes to go to Quincy? Do you go to Quincy?
When I have to go to Walmart, and when I'm in Massachusetts, I go to Quincy.
When you lived, how often did you go to Quincy? Be real. Be real.
I will not answer that question.
I lived there for a little bit. I lived there, and
then you got out.
I didn't go to
Quincy's the equivalent of living at the North End before the Big Dig. It's just out there. You're in a whole nother world. No, it's true though. It's like if you're gonna live in Quincy, you might as well go live in a nicer part in the North Shore because you're just that much out of the way of everybody else.
All right, so no Walmart Pay. What about you, Sam? What do you think?
Well, what I mean by Walmart, I mean by there's not a lot of super Walmarts, which I was used to seeing, which is what to me is a real Walmart. When I can go in there and I can go get groceries and get everything I need to inside that one place. Do your nails,
do your hair,
you do everything inside that place. But they won't let one in Massachusetts. But down in family near my alma mater, they got a super Target over there that does have a grocery store in it across from Shaw's.
Target's a little bit more sophisticated, you know.
You mean Target?
Target, yeah, of course, definitely Target.
The amount of politics that goes around here is amazing. It's just amazing.
Sam, what about you? What do you think?
I don't know. The way this is working is a little weird. It works more like a credit card than anything else, and that's worrisome, right? It worries me in that way. With Samsung Pay and Apple Pay and Google Pay or Android Pay, it is more of you're connecting your own funds to a payment system, to a platform, right? That you're going to use for payments across whatever, all your devices or whatnot. But Walmart Pay seems to be more like a line of credits.
Well, it's an extension of the legitimate credit card because they have a store card and they have a credit card as well too. They're both backed by Synchrony Bank. Synchrony is kind of the ones that do all the store cards, but they do some other sort of subprime cards like PayPal's credit card. They used to do Bill Me Later. They used to do the Nuvei card. They do a few other things. So it's not Walmart directly doing this themselves. It's a card with their branding on it, but it's actually Synchrony that's doing it from the back end. So what makes it interesting here is besides the fact that this shit has a 23.65 APR, you're not getting this card. But that type of, I mean, unless you want you get 3% at Walmart.com purchases and 2% on Walmart fuel and Murphy's USA oil fuel, and then 1% at Walmart and Sam's Club. That's just 1% is shit. But like, unless you're gonna be doing one of those things, but what I do like about this, I thought about this, is because the bank that's backing this is Synchrony. I wonder if this will get added to PayPal because they also back the PayPal card, and we know PayPal has their app that really doesn't look like an actual real wallet, and they've been the ones kind of missing from this whole payment system game.
That is very true, and that's thanks for bringing up that point with PayPal. You know, I really thought PayPal would have started its own payment system.
If Elon Musk, it would have been, but not Elon Musk or not.
Especially with them acquiring Venmo too, because Venmo, that acquisition of Venmo was a very good timely acquisition to stop somebody from killing them out of their own business, you know. And didn't they have their same thing, their PayPal Direct Fund thing like Venmo, and then they bought Venmo? I don't even know if they did. I can't remember.
But I've been seeing ads for it, so I'm confused on what the hell if it's their thing, or if this is them rebranding Venmo. I still have Venmo on my phone.
No. The PayPal Direct, I think, is almost like you shopping direct on PayPal.
No, not the PayPal Direct. I'm not talking about that. They've been doing ads talking about, like, little commercial ads talking about paying people directly, like how Venmo does.
Oh, but
Venmo still exists.
You can always do that. I think Venmo, because Venmo is capped at $1,000 or whatever price. It's not that high, you know. So I think they're really trying to keep Venmo at being that, like, young, quick pass, I need cash, you know, split bill, like all that kind of stuff, and then eventually move those people kind of the same Facebook structure. You have WhatsApp for a certain thing, and then you go to, you know, to Facebook proper for its full functionality. So which is why they're showing that. I think that's probably why they're doing the ads for PayPal, you know, Pay, because you can send large amounts of money. I think 10 grand or more or whatever.
What the hell, you were able to do that before on the damn thing by logging into the app? I don't see the difference.
No, but remember, they never advertised it. That's the thing. They never actually pushed it out to inform.
But I've always thought about that as, like, I look at Venmo and I'm like, what the hell is the difference between this and PayPal and going in the app and sending money? No, not one damn thing.
There's no difference at all. But it's just a competitor that came up, and you got to either beat them or buy them.
Yeah, but when it comes to the money transfer,
but how they beating you on your own thing?
Because younger
kids. That's like Eminem
murdering. No. It's because they didn't advertise.
That same type of thing.
Because they didn't advertise properly, right? And young kids, literally, because I mean,
that's all our demographic is using Venmo.
Yeah, I would hang out with my cousins. We'd go somewhere, and you split a bill, and they're like, "Let's Venmo." I'm like, "I can send it to you by PayPal now." They're like, I don't have PayPal. That's it. I don't have PayPal.
But you do.
No, they don't. They don't have PayPal. No,
people don't have PayPal.
They're all 20. You know, my cousins are like 20, 23 younger, so they're like Venmo.
Which I don't understand. You want to know why they don't have PayPal and we do? They change the age requirements at a certain point for us, and it. I know that there's some people
that PayPal from college when I was.
Yeah, but they changed. It was a lot easier for us to get PayPal accounts than it was maybe about another 7 or 8 years later.
Mine was tied to eBay, man.
Yeah, I got mine when it was tied to eBay too. But I think once I got it before they actually got bought by eBay. But I think something had happened and they had changed some things where it became a little bit tougher for younger people to get PayPal accounts, even though you would think that's kind of where you'd want your demographic to be. But then again, I think this was around the time they gotten rid of Elon and all this other stuff. So whatever plans of actually being a legitimate banking, doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, went out the door, and that's why they're just struggling payment system with a crappy back end that is getting beaten in its own game. And
don't be surprised. The back end is not that bad. The back
end
is very sophisticated.
No, the back end is
actually very sophisticated.
Oh, because they're redoing it. That's why.
The back end is not bad. I mean,
read some stories about that. I
use PayPal on a daily basis.
Yeah, for you. But what I'm saying is that there's a lot of things that are going on in the background among PayPal that has prevented them from growing in the way they wanted to grow.
Like logistically.
Like there's a lot of things that, because I read, from Elon's book and a couple other places that compare to contrast. I forgot what the code is. They wrote one code and they fought for another code. I think the thing's based in Linux, I believe, or I forgot what the name of the code is, but it's basically based on that. And another side wanted to fight for it to be written in C because it was Microsoft based and these ton of libraries that were already there and free and be developed for like pretty much eternity. So they know they could just build upon it, and they went for the former instead of the latter, and that's why it's been a struggle for them to kind of move in the right direction. Even look, the PayPal website, they still have to use the old look of certain parts of the website with the new look. Yep. Remember, they rolled out the new look, but they still had to use a whole bunch of old things. Like, there's certain things you can't even change on there still. Like, it should be like, there's a lot of things I think they are now getting fixed up and ready. I think Venmo's one thing I think will help them, because now that's a system they can probably just add on to what they already have and be able to kind of be that. But PayPal should have really been this digital wallet. Like, we should be talking about Android Pay,
PayPal,
Apple Pay, and PayPal. And almost everyone should be just using PayPal. Like, there's really no excuse. This is almost like the Blu-ray and HD DVD thing. Why did HD DVD lose? There's like really no reason why a name like that should lose.
Yeah,
with the number recognition.
That's very true. I mean, the one thing I would give PayPal, though, I've always given them, is their security is hardcore, man. I've had 3 times where my account somebody has tried to hack into my account and it shuts down. I mean, it's a little bit of a pain to basically reopen the account or to restart it. But I mean, immediately they're like, your account's shut down. And then I got an email on my first email, backup email. Then I got a phone call immediately going, somebody tried to get into your account. So can you verify if it's you?
That's good. Well, I actually want to shout out iTech You Out guy here. And we're talking about, you keep hearing about PayPal messing up. So what's interesting is, as far as sending and receiving basic PayPal systems, I've never had that issue. It's all sending, receiving, getting money, and all that stuff. But when I started using their debit card, that's when I ran into some issues.
Didn't they shut it down already?
No, I still use the debit card. I use
the business debit card had some issues, specifically when you would try to charge certain things, and then it would tell you don't have enough history with them, or you don't have enough credit, or whatever the hell. Your ledger doesn't say something else. I'm like, you're a debit card. If I charge something and I already have a bank where it's set to go to, you should just charge that through, because the advantage of doing that is getting the obviously the 1% cash back or whatnot by using a debit card. It's kind of the idea of why doing it. And it messed up so much. I was like, screw this thing. I don't want to use it anymore. I literally yelled at them and told them I'm not using this anymore and they made some reason as to why. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense considering my history. And I was like, you know what? Screw that debit card. And then the PayPal credit card doesn't matter because that's technically not ran by them. That's ran by Synchronic Bank.
Yeah. But the problem I had with the debit card and why I stopped using it is when I signed up to get my debit card, it automatically signed me up for the credit card.
It did?
Really?
Yep.
How?
But did it sign you up for the bill me later credit thing that they got rid of?
I think it was that or something similar.
Okay, see, they might have signed you up for that.
I had to call and tell them I didn't sign up for a credit because I was getting this email. I'm like, I didn't sign up for a credit.
No, let me tell you. I know what
bill me later is weird. It's kind of a weird thing because it's a line of credit, but it's not exactly a credit card.
It's a line of credit from them. Bill me later is a line of credit from them. I know what happened to you. I know what happened to you because I've seen it when I was setting up for a friend. Bill me later. I think they've stopped doing that. Bill me later shows up there, but you have to literally unselect it.
That's probably why. I probably
unselected, and it really. But it says there, like, PayPal, bill me, and I think to your point, Warren, I think the problem you face, which I think they fixed now. I never had that issue, but what it is that it depends on how you set up. Before PayPal, you had to set up your PayPal. Where do you want your funds from your debit card to come from?
Yeah,
from your PayPal account or your credit card. Now, if you set up as your credit card first, for your bank account first. What it actually does is defaults first to the PayPal credit before going to your bank account now, and you have no issues. That's how mine is set up. But I think if you set it up the other way, where you think, okay, whatever funds I have on PayPal can handle that first, and then I think it had an issue switching back over to your bank account.
I had a major issue with it too when I charged something and it kept going to the wrong bank account that I wasn't using anymore, and I kept changing it. I literally was changing it in the system to go to another thing, and their back end wouldn't change it. There was a point actually in the back end I couldn't delete a debit card out. There was an old debit card in there that I literally could not delete out of it. It wasn't until
because that's your verified one. Yeah.
But I have a ton of cards in there already. This is just like I don't need this card.
No, but if it's a verified one, you have to.
But let me just delete it like 3 days ago. But it was like 3 months ago. I could not remove the card, and I could not understand why.
I know with the verified accounts, I had an account I was trying. It wouldn't let me take it. I had to call in and the person told me that, look, that's the account we verified you in. So since you're calling, we have to re-verify you to make sure that you're the person. Like, I get that security aspect of it where they say, look, this is the account you signed up with. For you to just delete it like that, something's up. Yeah. So I get that part, but maybe they've changed some of the rules so that if you...
And then I just remember I swiped the card, they charged the wrong account. And I tried to change it. I called them. I said, hey, this went to the wrong account, and there's no money in this thing right now. I need this to move over to here. And they literally couldn't change it in the system. So I was like, well, what the hell do you want me to do here? Like if you're the ones that didn't set this the right way and charged it this way, because I know I changed it and they just gave me the answer. Then when I finally got everything changed and tried to use it again, they kept blocking everything, and I was like, forget you guys. I can't run a business on something that's gonna do these weird quirky things. I need something that's reliable. And like to me, if they're gonna release a business debit card of any kind, that thing's got to be rock solid for business. Which I think is also the other issue is that they went very, very business-driven focused, and I think really forgot about the average consumer, and that's why things like Venmo and them popped up, because they weren't thinking about Joe consumer that just wants to, hey, here's $5 for lunch, here's the payback for whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And I think they just kind of went away from that, was worried about merchants and all these other things, and not having the technology to back up what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. All right, let's move on to our final.
Chad, I do not owe AOL any damn thing.
Our final topic: E3 starts today, technically, with press announcements from EA, and Microsoft is tomorrow. Sony's on Monday. Nintendo does this little thing on Tuesday.
This has got to be the worst schedule to set up anything on. Is to let's start on Saturday. Great way to piss off everybody at BD.
No. EA likes to do things the day before. They've been doing Saturdays for a little bit now. That's EA though.
But the event's usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you get the press announcements Sunday, Monday.
Yeah.
No, I'm just having to fly out Friday to get there Saturday. No, that's what I'm saying. It's jacked up because it's messing up people's weekend.
But you're flying out to LA on Saturday. At least he's not flying out to Boston on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. But.
Yeah, so at least put it that way. But the big thing I wanted to talk about is Scorpio. as well as also announcements we'll hear from Sony and Nintendo. It looks like Scorpio is going to have 9 gigs of DDR5 RAM, which is fantastic because Microsoft this week said they just
look at Sam's face when he said 9 gigs.
It's like, so it looks like Scorpio is not anything to joke about.
Given the fact that there are actually some Windows system running with 4 gigs, only 4 gigs. I'm glad that they chose to go 9 gigs on this one.
9 gigs of DDR5 RAM.
Why not 10? Why not double digit it out?
I know, right? No. See, remember, this is what Microsoft said. They said they've unlocked an extra gig of RAM. I think they might be 10 there. They're just keeping it coy until maybe Sony makes an announcement. They're like, oh, wait a minute.
We have 10 gigs of RAM.
10 gigs. 10.
Watch him go. We had 9 because we just unlocked 4.5 on 2 DIMMs. Now we're just going to unlock all DIMMs. We're going straight 16 people. 16.
All kinds of DIMMs.
That's crazy though. But 9 is an odd number. It's a weird number to have. Yeah. All right. I'm not complaining.
And the other thing too is Microsoft just filed for a patent for some virtual reality, even though they said they're not going to show any VR stuff for Scorpio at E3. But there was a patent that dealt with virtual reality and kind of like HoloLens that they just filed this week. So chances are we might see something that's tied to that. We don't know. But it looks. What is it?
Did the patent this week?
Well, the patent filing came out this week. That's put it that way. It's been filed for a while, but
they probably just got awarded this week.
Yeah, this week. Which if you get anytime it gets awarded right before you make it as a show, it's usually tied to that in the first place. So we might see something like that at the show. But what are your expectations for Scorpio now that we know that it's going to be very powerful? It's going to be a PC.
It's going to run 2 games at the same damn time. Oh.
Future would be happy. What if they brought out Future and did that? You can play on this and you can play on this TV and that TV at the same damn time. You can play Madden and FIFA at the same damn If they just brought them out here just to do that, they'd win E3. Just dancing around.
Sorry, no, I'm just being silly. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Scorpio. I really want to see what a true next gen system would be.
This is a new system, no matter what they try to say.
There's no Xbox One S on this one. This is a
okay. So here are the 2 questions I have for you. Since Link 057 says price $499. So what's price and what is the name?
It's not going to be $499. It's probably going to be closer to $699. It's sad to say, I don't want to spend $699 on the system, but it probably will be closer to $699.
No, because they're going to drop the price of the other thing, so I think it's going to be $499. I think that's the yeah, because they're going to drop the price on the other consoles. They want this out there. And if you hit it the 6th price, no, but at the 5 price to match the specs, it'll push out there.
No, because you're right. I think Warren is right because 1S will drop to what 200 or 250?
200. Yeah.
200. 1S at 200? Ooh.
Oh yeah, Blu-ray player.
Yeah, Blu-ray. What's going to happen is they'll announce it. They'll tell you it's coming out in December or whenever that November launch period. It's going to be $499. And then you're going to hear right now Xbox One S is $200.
Yeah, and
you could probably do the 500 gigabyte at $200, and then your 1 terabyte would be what? $299. Oh my God, man! Like that's a sale, and again the fact that all your games that you buy from that will still be playable on Scorpio.
Yep. I would like that to be the case, but I see this probably being closer to $600.
No, I don't think so. I because Microsoft knows the math. They know. I mean, look, everybody's learned from Sony. That's Sony mistake with the PlayStation, where they said you have to take a second job to buy the PlayStation 2. Nobody's doing that anymore. Nobody's doing that. You're going to take the loss for this because you want to. Me, if I am them, I would do $499 and I would throw in Halo Anthology or whatever that thing is called, because you've released it, you've made that game free, and you might as well throw that on 4K and showcase as a free game for the system.
All right, so this is why I'm thinking it's going to be $600, right? For $600, you can basically say this is not your regular Xbox. They're going to argue that it's not a new console. They're going to say this is plainly for enthusiasts. The same games you have right now is going to run on there. So there really isn't a true reason.
No, that's not the statements they've made though. So
no, but your Xbox games are going
to. No. But I'm saying the statement of being for the Xbox enthusiasts. No, they said Scorpio is just the top of the line.
Yeah, that's why.
Well, how much is the Pro right now for the PS4 Pro? Is what?
$399.
$399, right? So yeah, they have to come at about $499, or maybe $350. $359, but not even that.
That's not gonna happen at $350, man.
But it's got
this versus the Scorpio, man. This is
no, we know that. That's
okay. Let's go back to phones with the whole Pixel idea against the iPhone, and we know the specs between that. But why was Pixel priced at what it was?
Exactly.
It's
price perception.
It used to be a thing where consoles would be priced at a loss, right? That used to be the thing, right?
It's still a thing.
It's still a thing. Nintendo's still the only one that makes money.
Only one makes money from day one. Everybody loses money.
So maybe you guys are right, $499, but I'm still thinking it's probably going to be closer to $6.
If they hit $6, people are gonna turn a blind eye to it for a good year. They want this thing to go the fire off right away, and so, but now we got to figure out the name, I guess.
Yeah, that's how I'm going.
The Xbox One Prime.
No, I think they should keep it as Scorpio. Just call it Xbox different names at this point now.
You see, that's the problem, though. They already had the One S. They already have the S after One S.
And they already have an Elite with a controller.
No. But S no. S is small, but now it's grown up to be Scorpio. It's like
we added more letters.
It's like the Scorpion King,
No, they could do the Xbox One XL.
Oh no!
No,
but the console is going to look almost like S1S. You've seen the dev kits, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dev kits looks exactly like a 1S with USB ports in the front. I was like, give me all those USB ports. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah. I'm thinking they're probably going to call it the One Prime. And why
Amazon will be pissed.
Why I'm saying is why I'm saying this argument for the $699 is that it might be for the enthusiasts. Yeah, I hear you saying it's going to be the top tier of it, but who normally goes for the top tier of anything? It's normally the people who are,
But all gamers go for the top tier.
Not all gamers.
Console gamers.
Console gamers go for the top.
Gaming and console gamers. Okay, because I was going to say gaming and the OC, the overclocking kind of movements almost go hand in hand, because gamers will get your medium tier stuff and they'll overclock the hell out of that stuff, right? But so console gamers want to go for the top tier, but I think they're going to have a tier that is more for people who want to be on the cutting edge, people who are definitely going to go for VR. I think that's how they're going to try to play it, because for me, I'm not a big VR person, right? So if it was between getting the One S, and a Scorpio that had VR on it, I'll probably stick to the One S.
I like how they reference. They always have slide references to Bill Gates, everything that they do, because it's called Project Scorpio for a reason. Because Bill Gates is a Scorpio, born on
really?
20.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they usually, a lot of their names tend to either have references to one of their founders. And there's a lot of Bill Gates references, and a lot of the. So
we know what the name for this thing is going to be now. Because they've used Bill Gates as the beta name or the pre-release name, so it's going to be the Xbox One Sweaty. Simple as that. Bomber all the way, man.
Quick
Bomber.
Quick
like the sweaty,
different note.
Xbox.
Thanks for pointing out in the chat. It looks like Adam West passed away.
What?
Kyle Ruggles pointed out. Thank you, man. He died at the age of 88. I guess he was suffering from leukemia. But yeah, that was the Batman that I first knew.
Yeah.
I think everybody first knew that Batman.
Well, I mean, there's people who are younger who probably know him or something like that. But he was the face of Batman for a while. Rest in peace, Adam West. Thanks for gracing us with your presence and giving us some pow and bangs and.
I miss that type of Batman.
And holy fast spray.
Yeah.
Shark repellent.
At least he didn't have like bat nipples.
Yeah, he didn't have.
Yeah.
Thank you, Val Kilmer, for giving that to us.
Yeah.
No, that was George Clooney.
That was George Clooney. Yeah,
George Clooney. It makes no sense. Clooney should have failed as a Batman, but somehow that happened.
Really?
When you think about it, it's like, how did that happen?
I always attribute it to Kilmer because Kilmer was just a piss poor Batman.
Well, Kilmer killed him. Kilmer was the beginning of the end. I know Batman was a ginger. Like, what the hell?
Oh, come on. I like Kilmer's Batman over Clooney's anyway. I mean, he was a depressed Batman. He was depressed, but that movie was better. Although,
we got to remember, Clooney said this movie was going to suck as soon as he read the script. He needed a tax break, so there you go.
But at least
there you go.
Jim Carrey played the Joker, aka the Riddler, in that.
Oh, that was probably the best rendition of the Riddler I've ever seen.
Yeah, it wasn't even wasn't supposed to be the Riddler, because if you know the Riddler, he's an extremely serious character.
Yep.
And it's just the simple fact that Jim Carrey said, "F this, I'm going to be the Joker in a Riddler costume. Deal with it."
Although what's his name as
Arnold is Mr. Freeze?
No, Harvey Dent. What's his name again?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones was terrible as
not the great actor, but not for that type of character.
You can tell that everyone had fun on this movie, but no one was thinking what the movie should really have been. You know, because you even tell that Schwarzenegger had fun. We're like, everyone needs to chill. I'm like, oh, really, dude?
I actually did like him as Mr. Freeze. Okay, he actually fit that character.
He was bulky as hell. Okay, let's just stop. Let's go back to Adam West. It was amazing having Adam West as Batman.
No, it was. I mean, I'm thinking maybe I should get like the old series.
Yeah, it might be nice to go back and watch it.
The whole theme that they had and all that stuff. It was a fun telling of Batman. More lighthearted, obviously.
Christian Bale is the longest actor for Batman movies. Yes.
But
no.
Yeah,
actually, Michael Keaton would have been just as long, but he also read that Batman script for the next movie. It was like, nope.
I mean, Christian Bale is on 3 movies. Keaton did 2.
He was going to do the one after that, but then he read the script and he was like, nah.
Yeah, so you're going to have that. And I think Ben Affleck will eventually pass all that. If you add cameos in his movie, he's going to have a next
movie. Now they're trying to make him the Iron Man of the DCU. We'll see how all that works.
But his Batman is always important anyway.
It's also important to look at Adam West, beyond Batman, even for the here and now. For people who didn't grow up with him as Batman, he was still in some of the most popular series in this day and age. I think he was on what's the name of the cartoon again? Was it Family Guy? Right? He was on Family Guy, so people know him.
Oh yeah, he was on Family Guy. He was he's the wasn't he? Is he the dad or was he the mayor? He's the mayor. He's the mayor.
Yeah. So
Mayor Adam West. He's the mayor of Quagga Island, which doesn't exist, by the way.
Yeah. He's the
so
mayor.
Even the younger generation, the people younger than us, still had that interaction with him. So he's not just the Batman of our generation. He's still, he's still an entertainer that basically he basically was enough of an entertainer to basically entertain people who are younger than us, people who are older than us, and people our age. So that's something that not too many entertainers can say.
His style is what people, his style of acting is what people liked. It's very similar to why people like listening to Captain Kirk. It's that style of acting that's so vastly different than from what everyone else puts on, but it's such a character to who he is that that's what people want to see. So, and that's what Adam West was. Adam West was that style of actor in everything he did, and that's why people were gravitated to watching him. Same with why is my name blanking on Captain Kirk right now?
William Shatner.
Canada blessed us with William Shatner, so
that's very true. Well, rest in peace, Adam West. And on that note, we are pretty much done for the week. We get to the point of the show where we asked and let you know, not ask, but I asked you guys and you let me know what you have on the channel and what.
Somebody said Wesley Snipes is Batman. Chad Christian said Wesley Snipes is Batman.
Look, Chad is just trying to just do some foolishness there.
Well, the truth of the matter, if you want to go by,
what if a black guy played Batman? Is what somebody asked.
If you go with comics, then it wouldn't be quite what's it called, Batman, but it would be, what's his name, Batwing. That would be the character, right? That's essentially a black character playing Batman.
No, but there is a black Batman. It depends on which Earth you're going to, right?
Dark,
universe, right?
Which Earth is that comic on? Because it isn't anywhere in this planet.
Earth 2, Superman is black and also the president.
Yeah.
This what two black Supermans though. There's two black
and they redrew him after Obama. There's the New 52.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like literally, the guy is like I'm Kal-El from Krypton, and I'm going to be your president. And when it's time to kick ass, I'm just gonna go
basically.
And no one knows that this president, when he takes off his glasses, is.
Oh no! They know in his world. They know.
Oh look, Shaq. Somebody said Shaq should be Batman. Shaq should play Steel again.
He already played Superman. So
he played Steel. Okay,
he played Superman. Remember, Steel was a
ripoff. I know he's supposed to be inspired by Superman.
He was a placeholder for Superman when Superman wasn't around anymore.
Yeah, no, his name.
So where the hell? So why isn't he in Justice League? Because Superman's not around anymore.
Yeah,
where is he? Where is Steel? John Henry Irons.
Yeah, John Henry Irons. No.
But that's actually a very interesting character to bring in if they ever decided to do somewhat of a offshoot superhero B-level character. If Marvel's universe can get to DC's universe can get to the level where Marvel's way they can do those type of things.
Like Justice Society.
Oh yeah, they can do all those. They just need to get there. You know?
They need to get there.
They need to get there.
So far, it seems like they've gotten one movie. They got one movie. E will say 2. Well, E will say 3, but it's one movie.
Yeah, I would say 3. Yeah, I will.
Because
I would say 3.
Listen, no matter what, please
I would give you
folks at home. Thunder E is a DC fanboy to the fullest.
Am I denying it here?
No shame. He will try to deny every Marvel come up possible.
No.
Try to debunk every one of them. How long do you sit here and argue with me about the Spider-Man thing?
No. Warren, I would take issue with this, right? He is a DC fanboy, but he does not deny it.
I don't deny it. Number
He argued with me for about 3 seasons that Spider-Man would never show back up in the MCU. And then exactly it happened.
It was not because of fanboy, because I didn't think Sony would actually do it. Until those, but they were desperate. It was not that. It was just because.
Well, it's not just that. It's like if you're making $1 million, you see somebody over there making $1 billion. I think I'm gonna go join the $1 billion folks.
Yeah, but look at Fox.
Oh, that's coming. That's coming.
No. Actually, Fox is a big enough. They have a big enough studio to where it probably wouldn't happen.
See, let me tell you why.
I don't know about that. After the last X-Men and Fantastic Four movies tanked as badly as they did, right now they're on Deadpool, and that's the only thing that's helping them.
No, but here's the reason why I didn't think Spider-Man was going to go back, right? Because industry people are trying to push this narrative that you must make $1 billion. I agree, Spider-Man movies should make $1 billion, but the last one made $780 million. I'm like, okay, you just need to retool this and make a better movie. And that's it.
But that series wasn't going very well. That was also the problem. It wasn't going very well.
They chose bad villains. They really did choose bad villains for the life.
I mean, but it's the nature of the Marvel universe. They don't know how to flesh out their villains properly, except on the TV show with Kingpin.
The problem with that is, but that's a movie versus a TV show.
About this, Marvel has way better villains than DC would ever.
No. DC villains are better. I think they're
better. No, I go with the Marvel villains. The DC villains are kind of mostly gimmicks.
Okay, best villain ever.
Let me put it this way. I think they are better and they translated better on film. Marvel, okay, fine. We've had 15 Marvel.
No. DC has one good villain on film, and that's the Joker. Name somebody else that was actually good at filming.
Can we get back to
Zod was a better villain.
Of the Hangout?
General Zod was a better villain.
Oh, get the hell out of here,
people!
We'll find him.
What's show notes? Forget the show notes.
I won't find him.
See the show notes right here.
I won't find him.
Show notes.
Let's go back and look at it too. Let everybody else bring that General Zod thing up. Get out of here.
Yes.
So Zod should have been good.
I'm sorry. Zod had a purpose. He had a motive and he had an arc, and he went through it. I'm sorry. Okay, what?
It was horrendous. It was freaking horrendous. I'd rather have the Zod from the Christopher Reeves.
No.
No. I'm sorry.
Dude, okay, I'm sorry, but we all know how people get trapped in the negative zone. Where the hell did they find that ship?
What ship?
Zod had a freaking spaceship, people. Every time people get trapped in the negative zone,
did you not watch the wait, Sam. It's almost like you did not watch the movie. They put them in a ship to take them into the negative zone, and basically because of the fracture of the planet that destroyed the portal to the negative zone, that's how they got out. They explained that twice in the movie, for crying out loud.
Okay, so can I?
And then he said that they basically replicated.
You gotta remember, people were nodding in and out by being bored through that part of the movie, so they might not have caught that.
Yeah.
No, really, Sam. Like, come on, look, give me a better excuse.
I like the movie. No, don't get me wrong.
No. Just give me a better excuse because that was just poor.
No. Simply. No. The negative zone. No, the negative zone for me was always an individual thing. Each individual, even from the original.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You can
always been an individual.
No. This is the thing that I don't like. No. This is the thing I don't like when people do this with DC and Marvel movies. Marvel will change shit completely from a comic book, and then you go, it's fine. Because you just slightly change it here at DC. This is what Sam goes, no, the negative zone was always like this.
No.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, here's the difference. Besides nerds, we're all being nerds.
Let me finish, okay?
Hey, Daniel's up in here.
It changes everything because basically Superman could easily have found. What is that? Superman could easily have found.
With a selfie stick.
Go ahead. And they said Daniel's in there with the selfie stick.
Oh, no. This could have started. The movie could have started in a totally different way. The movie could have had a way better fight scene where Superman is already exploring a ship that landed on Earth, and he inadvertently triggers. You know,
but he never triggered it anyway.
Wait, he could have done that on Earth. And that would have made more sense than introducing a whole nother freaking ship. It's like, come on. You know, he could have done it on Earth. End of story. You know, the whole fight should have been close to his sanctum of whatever they call that stuff. Of
I don't know. I would have liked to see the movie in color since they hadn't really any color in it.
They could have set all of that up. They could have they could have made it more complex. They just went with, these guys come on the ship and they fight, and they blow up basically Metropolis. And at the end of the day, Superman kills him because they had to kill him because he was going to kill some people. Say, hey, it's okay.
Really, that was the plot of the movie. I mean, come on, it's very simple. Zod came there to make Earth again. I mean, Krypton again. Simple, because that is his purpose in life.
But three-quarters of the movie was Superman doesn't want to be Superman because he wants to hide from everyone. Until finally, all of a freaking sudden.
You know how you win this argument? Against D?
Go ahead.
How did Pa Kent die?
That's the only thing I don't.
When that happened, that was the end of the movie for me.
I am not disagreeing. I am not disagreeing with you at all. I mean, to me, this is like this. Pa Kent dying, yes, I get it. That was a bad choice. But I can go and pick any movie and say there are certain things that are terrible. It's like the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. That was shitty.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying.
I kept on waiting.
No. But let's put it this way. That is considered a great Marvel movie.
I don't know if that was considered.
Not that one.
I'm saying
that one's kind of on the low totem poles.
That is what critics go check the Rotten Tomato on that bad boy. It's considered a great Marvel movie. Iron Man 2 and Whiplash.
Well, it wasn't a bad. They weren't bad movies.
I didn't say they were bad.
The villains weren't great, but the movies weren't bad. But you got to remember how they're telling Iron Man. Remember, in this MCU, all of Iron Man's villains are people that he scored in the past. That's the whole story. You got to know what they're doing.
His father screwed over.
I get that part. I'm just saying the way the villain was done was terrible.
It was pretty bad. Yeah,
it was terrible. No, to me,
Whiplash was good. It was just they didn't spend enough time talking about Whiplash. It was so much more about his competitor.
Made Whiplash a freaking pseudo-Russian crime boss. Weird.
It wasn't a crime boss. He wasn't a crime boss.
I'm talking about all the tattoos, like the look of him.
Oh, he just spent.
They have the right actor. I felt for it.
They just made him.
But
no, I think they just didn't spend enough time. That was the problem. They didn't spend enough time focusing on him and his backstory. They were so worried about
Whiplash.
They were so worried about what the hell his name is. His competitor that makes the shitty weapons.
Hammer, Justin Hammer.
Hammer. They were so worried that it was so focused on Hammer and him being the villain when it really wasn't. That was the problem with that.
Just like Thor 2.
No, why is somebody
high technology, high tech you? Our guy says now Thunder shucks the sound.
Pokemon Go.
No, I mean, look. So for me, the MCU, it's what do you call it again? Winter Soldier and Doctor Strange, and then Iron Man 1. Those are my movies that I like in the MCU.
DC fanboy, as you can see.
No, Winter Soldier is a great movie. What's wrong with Winter Soldier?
Oh no!
Okay.
No one would say anything bad about Winter Soldier.
Exactly. I said that's what I said. I said it's a great movie.
We can argue about everything here, but
Doctor Strange, I absolutely love Doctor Strange.
And Wonder Woman to the side as well. We do not touch those movies. Okay?
Doctor Strange is a great movie because they
listen. You're up by one. E. You have one going for you right now in the DC universe. Look, you need to rack up some wins because you've been holding me L for a while.
No, I'm sorry.
Dude, let's put it this way, right? I agree with Sunday E on a lot of the fact that the DC movies are good, right? But when it comes down to us talking comic book universe, saying DC has better characters than Marvel, then I'll argue with him.
No, okay, I'm sorry. On a movie standard,
I agree with him most of the time on a movie standard
because
when it comes to villains or like characters, no.
Okay, which Marvel villains on film are good other than Loki?
On film,
tell me. That's what I'm talking about. On film, I don't care about. I mean,
are we restricting these movies to the current MCU?
The current MCU,
any Marvel movie, or any
MCU. I was talking about MCU with this.
Okay, because I could go back and we can sit there and bring up Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2.
Oh no,
very good villain.
Those are great villains. Yeah, I agree. I'm talking about MCU. MCU, Disney likes to just mess up their villains like no tomorrow, man. I don't know.
Well, I think it's going to get better considering now that they have Spider-Man back and there's a bunch of great villains they now can actually use.
Yeah.
Because a lot of his villains are other people's villains.
Smart villain this time around, okay? They chose a good villain this time around.
I get that. I'm just saying that. No,
Batman's playing the Vulture. I'm just saying.
You know how much I was dying to see Age of Ultron. Ultron, of all villains, and they effed him up badly. I mean, come on. I was like, really? Yeah. This is a great villain, and you just made him.
That's because they didn't give Ultron a better story. They didn't give him a better story because they didn't want to introduce Hank Pym. If you've introduced Hank Pym, then you would have had a better Ultron story. But they have that.
But then they did anyways. The next movie.
Yeah, it was silly because they should. If they had done
it, they did the very next movie. So somehow, some way, Ant-Man was not. I don't know. I guess Ant-Man wasn't approved. Well, Ant-Man technically didn't get approved. I think it's up for Guardians of the Galaxy.
It was poorly because the Ant-Man movie should have come out. The Ant-Man movie should have shown that Hank Pym was not only working on whatever, he was working with AI, with like Tony Stark's father and whatever. And
I do like the fact that they kind of corrected it, and they did kind of correct it in the Ant-Man movie because they kind of made it. He's not the current Ant-Man is not the only Ant-Man. Like Ant-Man existed before him. So they did kind of reference those type of things.
Oh, no, they corrected that in the Ant-Man movie, didn't they?
Yeah, they corrected it well.
Yeah,
they didn't correct Ultron at all.
But there was no correction to Ultron and AI. It was all about Ant-Man being. There was an Ant-Man before, and then he kind of just
Ant-Man and Wasp. There was an Ant-Man and a Wasp before.
Yeah,
these two.
Oh, well.
Okay. Thank you, Kyle. I thought you meant Ghost Rider the movie, not Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Whew, because you were talking about Ghost Rider the movie.
Ghost Rider and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is actually. I gave up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So Ghost Rider and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is really good.
It's on point. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this season was the best comic book show. They had a tight storyline and they stuck with it. For a network show, they kept their storyline like this. They went with Ghost Rider, and then they went to the storyline of
I didn't catch up on
Lou, help me out. What is it?
What's his power sets?
Oh my God! What is it called? Who is the villain this year in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Come on, Lou. Not Ava. I know, but what are they called? Kyle, come on, give me the general name. It's from the. Oh my God!
The Brotherhood of.
Is Ava Longoria in this?
Life human decoys, or what do they call it? LMDs.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, it's the LMD storyline, and they basically made their own AI in the show, and she just fucked things up as AI should traditionally do.
Life model decoys.
Life model decoys. Yeah. Life model decoys.
Is this supposed to be reference to the whole Kree thing?
No. So
isn't the Kree thing still happening? Aren't they going to do that doubling thing?
I don't think they're going to do it. They're not going to do it.
But they've been hinting at it's going to kind of happen.
You need the X-Men for that. And
it's not happening. No Kree.
Well, they're still trying to fix this whole Superhero Registration Act thing.
It's not. Anyway, guys, we should end the show.
We should.
We should end the show. If you want to enjoy more comic book talk, join me on board today at 5 p.m. I will continue this conversation. What's his name is joining me there?
Rod.
Lou, as well as also Chad. Chad says Wonder Woman sucked completely. So I am going to discuss with him that if you want to hear more banter and just be giving Chad the power drive.
Does he have his social media accounts protected? The SGWs would be after him very quickly. I wouldn't say that in public if I was you. If you
he did on Twitter, right? And I went on him, and what's his name? Jason was like, Chad, this is not something you should be getting.
Have you seen what happens? We're not in the place right now for this.
I would put it this way:
5 years ago, maybe, but not now, Chad. Not now.
In the history of superhero movies, at least in the 2000s, the movie that would stand out as probably being one of the top superhero movies, I'll give it number 2 right now, is Wonder Woman. And that's not just because the movie was good. That was because the story was solid. They had a solid story, and the bad guy they picked made sense. It made sense for the universe that, hey, this is now the agent of destruction that just goes across all of the DC
Spoiler.
Whatever he is. I'm not going to say it. It's going to be the agent of destruction that goes across all the DC.
To me, I know. No, to me, the best part of the movie was not the story or the bad guy. It was the chemistry between Chris Pine and Gal Gadot.
Let's just leave that alone because people have been making some.
I know, right? You saw the memes where Gal Gadot is looking at Chris Pine and she's biting her lip like this. But the chemistry between both of them was on point.
Yep.
It was on point. It
was better than the Superman Lois Lane chemistry. Way better than that.
There's chemistry there. One scene, they see each other. The next minute, they're making out. That's all I got. That's all I got from that film. Literally, that's what I got. And I was like, I don't think it works that way. Hey, I already checked out of the General Zod. Said I will find him, and Pa Kent died. I was like, well.
But let's be frank. Look, if you had like some tight cave and you were flying around, and this girl who kind of liked you, but now she saw you flying around. I mean, it might work like that though.
Yeah,
it just might. Actually, it will work like that. Let's just be honest.
Flying around in some damn tights. Okay.
Look, if anybody sees you flying around, they'll be like, I'll be scared actually. If Warren has superpowers,
badass then.
I don't know. I think we'll all be safe. But anyway, guys, let's round this up.
About this, you know what? I'm gonna fly you home. That's what I'll do. Drop you off.
Again, join us on Board, which is our entertainment comic book channel. We'll be discussing more comic book stuff 5 p.m. today. Chad, you're on notice. It's going to be a beatdown.
Chad's like, I'm wearing my big boy pants. I'm coming ready for this.
I can't join the show because you guys are going to talk about the movie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're going to.
You haven't seen the movie yet, man?
No, I haven't seen the movie yet. I haven't had a chance on the weekend to go see it yet.
Yeah.
There's this scene where Wonder Woman picks up this like tummy gun and she goes to town and everything.
Okay, no, dude, I know how DC works. Don't try. There's no tummy gun there. I know how DC works. They ain't got that type of common sense. Captain America will pick that up.
But anyway, check out Mr. Warren Bowman at bw1.com. Follow him on Twitter, Instagram. It is bw1.com. As well as Mr. Sam, aka Black Iron _man on Twitter. He's part of the Booredatwork network. And myself, Thunder E, it's Bored at Work on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and also join us on Board. We'll continue this discussion. Thank you very much, and always enjoy your entertainment.